Legion, it's Hadrian. Thank you for being here, and let's play some more Stellaris Distant Stars in our Dynastic Divinity series. We are looking at the terminal egress, which is in the L cluster, which we have just entered. I had someone suggest to me, hey, you might want to get a construction ship out there as soon as you can manage it, and that's a really good idea, because I would like to have those just generally in position. So we've got most of our construction ships down here helping lock down this area, but I think first of all, I'm gonna send this one here to lock down that territory, but we've got one in Rookbot that can make it out there fairly quickly. It would be even faster if we just built a new one, though. So why don't we do that? Let's see. It's Uricannon's Maw, and it seems like if I built one in Stratal on Otirdiel, I would be good. So we're going to, just kidding, don't have the minerals, but we're going to do that soon. Not going to do that just yet, but we are in the L cluster, and this is all there is to it. It's not a lot, and I'm sure there's going to be more going on, but we want to be able to lock this system down. Interestingly, though, notice what I was zoomed in on when we started the episode there, and unless something more interesting happens in this episode, we will probably use that as the thumbnail because it's really cool. There are a couple of worlds out here that look rather shattered. There's Nal Dicor and Dim Furem out here that have been shattered, and they all have unique names out here for whatever reason. I don't know what these systems are called yet. We haven't found out, but I can go ahead. We've got a lot of science ships generally headed, I forget where these guys are going. These are all I think we're bringing them back to scope out this area as soon as possible. I think I'd order them all to Uricannon's Maw. So that's going to be done at least, but we need to get multiple construction ships out as well, which reminds me, we may as well go ahead, or it doesn't so much remind me as it just makes me realize it would be good to have multiple construction ships going at once. So as soon as we have an income tick here, in just 1 month, I'm going to queue up a construction ship on each of these 3 worlds. And also what I can do is I can still have the existing one in Rookbot head to the terminal egress. It's going to take them a second to get there, but that's fine. So again, the thing is that apparently these L gates are going to start unlocking as the maintenance cycle closes, and more people with L gates in their territory will have access to it. Now, surely there are some kind of negative ramifications for opening the L gates, and we haven't discovered what those are yet, but they're coming, I'm sure. All right, construction ship, construction ship, construction ship. There's that. Now, Chibon Station is just building anchorages to help with our naval capacity, and that's been going well. I'm going to go ahead and queue up a naval logistics office, and we're going to do a nebula refinery and resource silo, and then just keep building anchorages probably, but we don't have the... we just used up our minerals again. God. But we will have... we've got our territory locked down now at this point, which is nice. And we're in the process of building... Anomaly found! We're in the process of building all of our various mining stations out here. The surface of this asteroid is littered with metallic debris. Most of it appears to originate from starships of many different designs. Complete. And this is in the terminal egress system. Let's go ahead and research that anomaly and figure out what the heck's going on. So they're going to go back and look at, looks like Taofun V. That's what it's called. Alright, so we have multiple construction ships we're waiting for. Let's go up to speed 2. Alright, we definitely want to get that starbase built. Now, you have no orders. You need to build that mining station. You have orders to build those already, so we're going to take you, send you to Despot and get those built. And then you can also go to the terminal egress as soon as humanly possible. Or as soon as oranathally possible. That sounded strange somehow. I'm not sure that's a phrase I want to repeat. Okay. Yeah, the Organolox destroyers are getting consumed by the Theklock, which good for them. You know, I'm not really concerned about that territory changing hands. We're actually, I feel like we're pretty friendly with the Theklock Nation. Let's take a second look just to make sure. Yeah, we have a really good relationship with them, so I say bring it on. Now, it was pointed out to me in the previous, in comments on previous episodes, you know you can just declare war to vassalize neighboring empires. Yes, and that's what we'll probably have to do for the gyroid. I mean, it would be cool to do it in other ways, but we'll probably have to do that for the gyroid. And it would be really nice Yeah, it's the Bokasharan Covenant that I'm hoping I can vassalize just outright without having to declare on them. And I think I'm going to be able to, because I've had them as a protectorate for a while. Is there anything else that I can do? Doesn't seem so. Alright, our new construction ships are ready. So we're going to send them all through here. Junkyard! This asteroid was evidently used as a junkyard by someone at some point in the distant past. All manner of discarded machinery and metallic refuse has been deposited inside the asteroid's weak gravity well, being slowly pulled into the jumble of debris that now covers the surface. There is nothing of particular value to be found here, but a lot of the metal could be salvaged by a mining station. We should recycle what we can.
Our ships have been improved.
Yay. Alright, so we have a transport fleet in Tem. That's right. Was there a reason that I was building you, or did we already do that? I know that we, at one point, had... Oh, the enigmatic fortress is in Astor. Good to know. I know I had to train some troops, and of course we have the enigmatic cache in Rama. Interesting that it's shown up again. We could uplift these guys, too, and make them vassals. That's another thing. People have been asking when I was going to do that. We have a late medieval and a Bronze Age civilization here. That would be, which one we uplifted would be a question to consider, but that would definitely give us a vassal. Let's take a quick look over here as well and see how our new colonies are doing. Because we do have new colonies. Ishtram Prime is our new Gaia world. And actually, can we rename that? Let's call it something other than Ishtram Prime. You know what? Let's keep it simple. We're just going to call it Istria. Has kind of a spiritual vibe to it. Where did my caps lock randomly get turned on? That's weird. Alright, okay. So there's that, and we're going to upgrade the colony hub building, definitely. And we do need some society research more than anything. It seems like we also could use... I don't really need food at this point. By the way, quick note, in previous episodes I was talking about... You know, this is something that I've discussed multiple times this series, and, you know, in terms of my general strategy for where I place, you know, buildings that have unity bonuses or buildings that, you know, such as the energy nexus and the mineral processing plant, things that give the 20% boost. My thinking on that only applies, it turns out. It only really works as a strategy. I really got down and thought about this when I had some people ask me questions about it. It actually only works as a strategy on either small worlds that don't have a very large mineral or energy outcome. When I'm talking specifically about buildings that that boost the overall yield, I think my strategy still applies for the Paradise Dome because you can ultimately get more food-wise. Paradise Dome doesn't have a percentage boost to it for food, but for things like the Energy Nexus, it actually makes more sense once you have a planet with a large enough energy yield. That 20% boost is a lot better than anything you would get from having the best possible power plant on the energy tile. So if you were down to 2 tiles left on a big world with a lot of energy output, you would want to put the Nexus on the energy tile, not the other way around, which is what I was advocating before. But for things like the Paradise Dome, which is another topic that's come up, and actually didn't even come up in the discussion that I had, you know, about that last clarification that I made, I think it still applies. You probably want to put this on a non-food tile so that your food tiles can support hydroponics farms for the same reason that I was discussing previously, because these don't have a food boost. If there was a building with a food boost, then yeah, of course you would think in those terms. So with that in mind, I actually don't need food at all. So what I'm going to do for you is probably, for now, let's go ahead and just build. What are we low on? You need, let's make this a mineral. A mining network. Yes, it'll suppress some food collection, but I don't care. I don't care one little bit. Now, of course, the Veil also belongs to us and has been contributing pretty substantially to our core territories for the past little while. Interesting little loading hitches there for a second. I wonder what's going on. The game's thinking about something. Task Force Uraka needs another reinforcement. Let's go ahead and do that. Because again, anything we can build. Oh, nice. Strategic resource discovered in Dorafu Rem. It's on a planet in the terminal egress. Dubbed Gray Actuators. Oh, this is different. Simple but powerful nano actuators allowing for complex manipulations and experiments at mesoscopic scales. Okay, it's a research speed resource. I like it. That's nice. It seems like maybe we can go ahead and collect it, because it's here. So once we have construction ships that are able to do it, we might be in good shape. Which, by the way, they'll be arriving soon. Trade deal duration expired. Our trade treaty with the Holy Miravandia Confederation has timed out.
Construction complete.
Also, hang on. Let's take a quick look at policies and edicts. Food stockpiling, large. Yep, it's time. It's time to do that. We want to have lots of food in case everything hits the fan here with the Elgates. Speaking of that, where are my science ships? Okay, they're still traveling. Also, somebody else reminded me of this and I want to double check. Let's check what my sector settings are. We want to respect tile resources. Redevelopment of buildings is fine. Like, someone told me to make sure that was turned off. I really don't care. Like, as long as they respect tile resources, they can have autonomy. And I'm okay with it having a balance. So we'll leave that as is too.
Construction complete.
Okay, so we've established that station, and we have, looks like, a few construction ships with nothing to do. So let's bring them out to the L cluster as well. Our construction ships have started to arrive. We have one that's just waiting there, so that's good. Ready to go. And with construction being complete on some of these ships, let's see. Acceptance is not really going any farther down. We may have to declare war on them to get them to yield to us. We'll see. Let's reinforce the fleet again. Another strategic resource discovered. Gray crystals during its survey of Ten-Ard Shell. So what are you? Wow. This is going to be quite the system, but we don't, it appears, have the ability to research that just yet. Or to gather that just yet. Maybe we do, and it's just gray. It's just dark gray, but I'm assuming it's gray because we can't exploit it yet. Zero distillation. It may be time to go ahead and do that. Fleet command limit is also high on my list, but I think let's go ahead and get zero distillation going. I don't think we've found Element Zero yet. Element Zero, sorry, that's my Mass Effect fan coming out, but I don't think we've discovered it. That's essentially what Zero is in this game. It's very similar to Element Zero in Mass Effect. I don't know that that's where they got the inspiration for it, but it's an interesting thing to note. Oh, wait, hang on. I think my science ships have arrived. Yep, this one has. Survey that system. Survey that system. And a few more are almost there. Yeah. So there's actually a notification when the jumps end. Good to know. And there's that one. Okay. So let's also get that system surveyed. Very good. And it looks like there's a... That could be interesting. Sensors pick up unexpected activity from an isolated point on Dora Alfir's frozen surface. Research, please. Figure that out. There's a lot going on in Terminal Egress. Alright, so now we are in Egil Rarvis. Literally called Egil Rarvis. It's class M star. We're going to start surveying there. Terminal Egress, I think, is almost done being surveyed. Yep, it is. We have that anomaly they're working on. I'm sorry, anomaly. Oh, here we go. The readings originate from a small research outpost, which the Divine Ornathi hierarchy has no records of establishing or indeed authorizing on the surface of Dora Alfir. And how could they have done that, given that we just got to the L cluster? It's weird that we have this anomaly here. You might need to work on that in the future. It is staffed by one Ornathi scientist, a fairly talented and industrious one, if their research on Dora Alfir is anything to go by. There is a problem with regards to their identity, however. We have been unable to match them against official state records, and they refuse to identify themselves, save for stating that they are an exile. They have expressed an interest in returning to Old Orin and serving the Divine Ornathi hierarchy directly, on the condition that the HSV Wimdur immediately depart Dora Alfir and no Ornathi ships ever return there. Out of the question, search every nook and cranny of that outpost. I've never accepted the other option. We have another strategic resource, Grey Dust. Gray dust does what? Terraforming speed and terraforming cost. Interesting. There is nothing unusual about the research outpost itself. It is little but a temporary shelter erected against savage elements, allowing surface-level planetary study for a limited time before it wears down and conditions become untenable. The outpost on Dora Alfir is nearing the end of its lifespan, but the planet's intense chill has yet to critically degrade the impermanent structure. The equipment, functional, cheap, intended to be abandoned, is well used, and the local databanks are filled with the detailed but ultimately mundane accounts of the planet, as well as the simple experiments that were carried out in its harsh environment. Curiously, no closer examination seems to have been made of the mineral outcropping the outpost's foundations rest on. Scans by the HSV Windor indicate that the geological formation, a mountain mostly buried under ice, may be partially hollow. More alarmingly, Science Officer Pendrim Den Aramic reports that the sole inhabitant of the outpost, the mysterious Exile, has gone missing and is nowhere to be found. Puzzling. Right. Let's communicate with Shroud. We were never meant to be here. Reach in. Okay, once again, it's giving us this event over and over and over again, which is nice in a way. But again, I think I'm going to exit until such time as we're just going to keep going back and forth. I know it's ridiculous, but the thing is, I want a better ruler to have that. I really want to take advantage of that. Observing the massive asteroid 6467863, we have found something. Further investigation is warranted. Research. Alright, so the Krathakian Interstellar Imperium is now the rival of the Golkferki Confederation. We have not finished researching or surveying the terminal egress. What do we have here? Scientist Pendrim Den Aramic has died at the age of 131. Now, do I have a scientist that... Not really. I mean, I could put Vabrig Den Iridar out. That could be good. Or I could put Vabrig Den Palosh. No, let's have a new leader out in the science ship instead. They'll get plenty of experience. They're about to have anomalies and things to explore, so they'll be fine. No, I don't need a cheaper recruitment cost. I've got plenty of energy. That's the one thing I have lots of. So, probably a young leader, biology expertise. I like faster research speed. Yeah, I've got to go with the younger scientist, I think. It's more advantageous to have that leader as a home researcher because they have the biology bonus, but we're going to keep them here. Egelrarvis 2 strategic resource discovered. Gray scales. Alright, this is interesting. Concentrated artificial fertilizer designed to revive devastated biospheres. Food output plus 20%. So, a lot of gray things. I'm curious. I'm immediately curious as to what's going on here. Alright, so we've had... Let's have you finish surveying the system. I'm curious as to why you stopped, though. Did you discover something else in the system? I guess this planet here. Oh, you're still in the process of surveying.
Construction complete.
No, that was the last... Oh,
System
I don't know.
survey complete.
Krathakian Interstellar Imperium has declared the Golkferki Confederation their rival, so there's some mutual rivaling going on here. Alright, so you guys are done down here. You guys are done there. Okay,
The
Terminal
spirits
Egress
have granted us
has... been added to our territory. We're going to take this construction ship and head to Egelrarvis, and this one head to Abshala. I'm a little bit nervous about taking these these gray resources. I don't know. Alright, an extremely rare aerosol of exotic particles. We do not have any Zero right now, which makes me sad. But at least we have that research done. We can research an additional core sector system. We can do capacity boosters for leaders. We could do regenerative hull tissue, which is probably going to be helpful. Energy siphons we don't have yet, but we can always do that. We don't need more starbase capacity by research right now. Habitability modification could be useful with some of the other species in our empire, but we're not focused on that right now. Let's do capacity boosters. And then engineering-wise, we probably need impulse thrusters so we can move around faster. Battleship build speeds, also probably handy. Let's do impulse thrusters. All right, now this Science ship needs something else to do. You go out there. Survey. I could technically put them on auto-explore, but there's so little going on that I kind of want to have exact control over what they're doing and when. Oh, interesting. We've got some living metal here that I need to build a mining station over. Or do we? We don't have that technology yet. But it would be good to go ahead and get out there. So you head that way, please. Task Force Uraka still needs reinforcement. Oh, yeah, definitely. Nice. So this could actually... This could put them over the naval cap situation again. Let me check Chiba and see. Yeah, we need to build a few anchorages to resolve that. We'll get the Nebula Refinery and the Resource Silo built after those anchorages are done. The Naval Logistics Office will definitely help. I'm just hoping that when those ships are built, the Bo-Kasharen Covenant might be close to... It's still going down, but I don't know if we're going to be able to do it with just ships. We might have to declare war on them.
Construction complete.
Deep within a crevice of the giant asteroid 6467863, we have found something astonishing. There is mining gear attached to the rock, digging itself into the vast depth of the asteroid. It stands abandoned with no sign of who placed it there. If we can stop the machine, we might be able to learn something about the technology used to build it, but we must hurry before random debris crushes it. So we can try and stop the machine, or we can scrap it for minerals. You know what? I'm going to scrap it for minerals. I'd rather have the one-time boost. The atmospheric patterns of Eglivara 6 are highly atypical for a gas giant of its modest size. So that's probably going to be a hidden world of some kind, if I had to guess. Alright, let's get this construction ship out here. If we can manage it. Still need to reinforce. It's good, though. So we have a bunch of new ships building. What we had assumed was an abnormally small gas giant is in fact not. Beneath a deceptive cover of thick dust swirling in the upper atmosphere lies a regular planet. A barren planet, but a planet nonetheless. This has proven quite embarrassing to the astronomical community on Old Orin. So we get some experience there. Very nice. And Istria is in need of some upgrades. Oh, we're out of minerals though. Oddly enough. The debris field which JX4 2079 is part of roils and swirls under the influence of unknown forces. Research. So Istria, I think, should get that upgrade first, and then you need a... Let's do a basic science lab for you. Then the Veil needs all kinds of things. We're going to upgrade your Unity production, that, and then more soon. Oh, hang on, we can do more now. Just kidding. You get everything. Merry Christmas. Throne of the Three Stars can get its research upgrade, and we're probably going to continue to focus on the biolab there. You are due for an upgrade as well, but to what? There we go. The power plant. Climbing towards 5,000 food to spare, and then we'll get our growth bonus back. We are at our naval capacity. Question is, though, how are we doing? Oh, nice. We control that territory now. We can form a defensive pact with these guys. Yeah. I wonder if that would help us. Let's go ahead and form a defensive pact. It'll cost a certain amount of influence per month. That's fine. It's not a whole lot. And maybe that will make them more likely. Yeah, they're getting really, really close. So if we do a migration treaty, we'll start letting the Bo-Kasharen Covenant, even though they're xenophobes, into our territory, which is huge. I mean, these guys are xenophobes, and they're still interested. Yeah. So if they continue to get friendlier towards us, we'll be good. We are now... Oh, just kidding. The capacity situation fixed itself. I was about to say we're over our naval cap, but not anymore. Initial analysis of the asteroid's composition points towards potentially interesting finds. Taking a little bit longer than usual, but that's okay. So it seems like we are ready to establish a starbase here. And here, in fact. And here. Nice. Let's go ahead and research that trinary system. I'm a little bit nervous about it. Alright, mining stations for you. And research stations for you.
Construction complete.
Up is down. As the HSV Livendor passed through the asteroid belt on its way to JX4 2079, Science Officer Valdrig Den Badir reported that the ship experienced a number of sudden gravitational shifts. Ever curious, Valdrig Den Badir dispatched a number of probes to scan the debris field to discern the cause. It turns out that the culprit is a number of gravity generators of old alien make. Sputtering on dying energy sources and with their polarities inverted, they occasionally spew reverse gravity into the void, though not with enough force to cause any serious harm. Not anymore. Science Officer Valdrig Den Badir theorizes that the generators once provided artificial gravity for a large asteroid in the belt, but some malfunction eventually tore the rock apart. A disturbing thought.
System survey complete.
Okay, so that's done there. And consequently, I think we've ordered the exploration of the entire sector. I can have you help out with the survey of that system, but that's about it. We could potentially vassalize the Book-Sharing Covenant. Let's see. Ooh, is it -10? I think we're going to be able to do it once their attitude towards us continues to grow. But for now, I will stop this episode here. We're going to build a few more ships, and that might help too. Let's see how many more we need to build. Oh yeah, we can still build a few more here to help with that. And actually, it looks like some of the largest ships haven't even been built yet, like the battleships for Task Force Uraka. So that could tip the scales for the Book-Sharing Covenant. But in the meantime, I'll stop this one here. In the next one, we are going to continue taking... Oh, hello. The Holy Meravande Confederation has arrived here and is starting to scout, so we're going to have to take this territory quickly, or other empires are going to take it from us. But it seems like we've got it on lock for the most part. We just need to have the influence to take the systems before anyone else does, which we hopefully will have. Thanks for watching. If you enjoyed this one, don't forget to like the video and subscribe to follow along. New episodes are coming out every day at 4 p.m. Eastern Time. Comments are always welcome. Let me know what you think, and I will see you next time.